I was reading something the other day from Nisargadatta Maharaj, a famous teacher, and Amelia has his book. It's not his. They just recorded talks he did in India and put it out into a book called I Am That, and it's pretty popular one. And we were looking at this page, trying to get it better than it was, and it's quite beautiful. So I'm going to read it again today, and we tried to read it the other day. So he says, there's a question. You seem to say, don't ask for proofs of truth. Concern yourself with untruth only. That's the question. His answer is, the discovery of truth is in the discernment of the false, which is, could you call that negation? Yes. Yeah. So the direction is the discernment of the truth, of the false, is that the discovery of the truth. Yeah. So you are the seeing of what you're not, in a way, another way of saying it. So he goes, what is the discovery of truth is in the discernment of the false. Let me see here. I lost it there again. You can know what is not. What is, you can only be. Yeah. So maybe it sounds better or more authentic or more powerful if I say Nisargadatta says it, because this is what we've been saying for 25 years or so. But hey, I'm willing to try anything, you know. So what is, you can only be. Knowledge is really, I was sitting at a satsang a long time ago, and the person was speaking. And when they were speaking, I had a feeling that I knew this before knowledge. Yes. There was a knowing of it before knowledge. And it was very distinct and powerful. It never left me. And in a sense, what he goes on and says, and I can't see it really clearly, but I sense it clearly, which is knowledge obviously is combined in duality with ignorance, yes? Yet there's a knowledge that's before knowledge and ignorance. And it's the same feeling we attempt to get across, which is the freedom is before the bondage, yes? The freedom doesn't come after the bondage. If it does, it will be an experience which will be followed by an experience of bondage sooner or later, yes? But the freedom we're speaking of can't really be described, but it can be implied or insinuated or intimated. And by speaking, we're attempting to do just that. So there's a freedom that's before the bondage. It's the idea of your getting out is the recognition you've never been in. Yeah, that's the beauty. It doesn't take any time to get out when it's based on the recognition you're not in. It takes no time. Nothing passes. There's no distance that had to be covered. There wasn't a certain moment that it was going to be available. No, it doesn't take any time, because that drive to get out is based on a reality of the in. What non-duality disputes is that reality of the in. It doesn't go into the opinions about the outs and the methods of getting out. It just questions the idea that we're in. And if it hits you that you're not in, that doesn't take time, because you don't have to get into what you're in. Yeah, it's already done. It's not done. It would never needed to be done. There's no out in that in. And that's the beauty, yes? The in that we're speaking of isn't followed or preceded by an out, yeah? So there's a recognition from an in that you're not in a lot of shit that you think you want to get out of. It's just that simple, yeah? And then hopefully, satsang is like hearing huge trees falling. You're not seeing the tree fall, but you hear it, you sense it, yeah? So you're sitting here and someone presents a statement from Huang Po, a great Zen master. And the statement is, you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. Yeah, so suddenly you hear this giant tree fall. And then it's followed with, you can't use mind to seek mind. Another giant tree falls. You can't use light to seek light. Tree falls. And the only reason why none of that can happen is because you are light. You are Buddha. You are mind, big M mind. It's not like you were disqualified by something you did or didn't do. You are it. Yeah. So it disqualifies experiencing it, getting it, losing it, arriving, departing. It excludes all that, being it. Being it is not sand escaping through your fingers while you're trying to grab it. It's not like that. Being it is just that it's sort of like the water to the fish. The fish has always been in the water, so it doesn't know water. Yeah, it has no idea of it. It finds out, unfortunately, when it's pulled up onto the deck of a boat and then it's flipping and flopping because now it's out of the water. And maybe, just maybe, if they threw it back in, it would be the spiritual path of a fish to be pulled out, hit the deck, and then be able to go back in, because now it would appreciate fucking the water. It would have a deep appreciation, because when it seemed to be out of it, it was dying. Yeah. Now when it's in, it's alive. In a weird way, that's what it's like. Yeah. So the idea of knowing gravity, I say the quickest way to know gravity is to go into an anti-gravity chamber. Then by its absence, you would know the effects of gravity. And when you were walking up the hill and bitching about the hill, you'd realize it ain't the hill. Yeah, it's gravity. Yeah, that steep staircase that you hate isn't the staircase. It's not doing shit. It's the gravity. Yeah. So basically, there would be a clarity that would just feel ordinary, because it would be completely common sense, and there would be no room for debate or dispute. It would be, okay, gravity has been lifted. I now know gravity. Yes, by its absence. So in a sense, that's what negation is. Negation is saying that instead of looking for what we are from what we're not, which is the assumption of the mental starting point, is that it starts at what we're not. And as its long winding event goes on, it may come to the point where it gets interested in looking for what it is, but it's always going to be jackpotted because it's looking from what it's not. Yeah. So this is about negating that and seeing that there may be a looking for what you are from what you're not, but you're not that. That's the good news. Yeah. Because if you take it to be you that's looking from what you're not to find what you are, that's a whole other thing. Yeah. There'll be bondage in that. But if you see you're not that, which is looking for what you are from what you're not, you'll lose interest in its importance. It won't be that important because you'll be seeing it from what you are. Yeah. So the value of the robbery when you're seeing it as what you're not is huge, because you think you're keeping yourself from the truth. But when you see it from the truth, it's not, doesn't have much relevance. That's the beauty of it. Yeah. It becomes okay. It's accepted. Yeah. Especially, and in that acceptance, you see that it's mechanical. There's no choice or volition coming from a third party called you that's choosing to do it. It's just doing it. Yeah. If it meets something through us, the consciousness of the event, it will claim it. And what does it do? Does it claim it? You know, it's not like you know, a Spanish explorer. It's not like a God explorer that when it gets introduced to something, it claims it for God. No, it claims it to build the story of you, which is that which is playing God. Yeah, that's where the head plays God. So it's claiming that seeing is an attribute or an action of the seer. That's what it does. When there's seeing without a seer, but there's no seer without the seeing. None. Yeah. There needs to be seeing for the seer to be given that attribute, because the seer ain't seeing shit. It's just an idea hanging in there, hanging. It's like dead fruit. It's by our cherishing it that it makes it look like it's delicious. And yeah, but it's dead fruit. Yeah, it's beautiful. So we talk about it like I think it was today, some yesterday today or whatever, of the seeing the emperor with no clothes. And that's like a free sample. The real value in it here is when you see the emperor has no clothes when it's wearing clothes. See, that's the point. Those peak moments when you see the emperor has no clothes are great, but basically, usually it will appear with a new set of clothes and you'll be fooled once again. But in this case, once you see it, the emperor has no clothes, you see that when it's wearing a lot of clothes. That's the value. And satsang can strengthen that, I feel. Yes. So you may be fooled by some of its ensembles every once in a while, but after a while, you're not fooled much. Yeah. It's like, I use this example and everyone who's been here has heard it, but it captures it better than anyone I could bring up. And that's when I was 12 years old, strange kid. Unfortunately, I saw my mother in a compromising position, naked. Yes. And I never forgot that. So even when I saw my mother with clothes, the image of her with no clothes on would keep coming up. It's sort of like the message. Yeah. To recognize the thief, maybe you only need to see it once. Yeah. Yeah. So here you go. So this direction, as Nisargadatta, I feel, was expressing, is coming to a knowledge of what you're not, instead of trying to know what you are from it. Yes, it's just a switcheroo. And first you have to sort of see if it's true what I'm saying, which is instead of looking for what we are from what we're not, we're going to see what we're not, looking for what we are from what we're not, from what's looking. Yeah, from us, from what we really are. So the seeing is going to see the activity that we used to look from. Yeah, it's going to see the activity in great clarity, that which we were seemingly after. We never saw the shit go on. Yeah, we just lived from its premise. Yeah, we live not only in the act of becoming self, but believing we are one already, like a historical one. So it would be much easier if there was a house that you may move into and you saw it in the blueprint stage, than to be paying a mortgage and a rent in a house that's solid and concrete. This is what the head does. The activity during the day is the arising of selfing, but when the arising of selfing communicates to this audience that we are, it implies that that which it's communicates is already so. You are already a long-lasting, independent, separate entity, and basically, don't you forget it. That's a forbidden territory. Don't you forget it. Keep looking straight ahead. So there's a beautiful thing called self-inquiry that Ramana Maharshi, the godfather of non-duality, I'd say, brought back into vogue from the Vedas, old scriptures from India. And he explains it very clearly in some of his teachings that the questioner of the who am I and that which is being questioned are both not us. Yeah. There's not a you in any of it. Yeah. There's what you're not, asking what you're not, what it is, basically, with the hopes of when they look at themselves, these two images that are constantly being imagined, is when they turn and you see nothing, yeah, because there's nothing there and there's nothing here either. Bammo, there's a fusion. Something occurs, and what occurs is that which is always occurring. You're here, still here. That silence that's been answering the who am I forever is noticed, yeah? Yes. So this is all negation. There's no need to affirm the truth because you are it, yes? To affirm it would be a disservice in a sense. Yeah. Because you would be trying to affirm it from a deficit, yeah? This isn't about affirming it to convince the deficit. It's seeing it. It's seeing what you're not. And in the seeing of what you're not, in the awareness of what you're not, finally, there's an intimation of what you are, which is the seeing of what you're not, because that's all you can see. You can't see no thing. You can see the appearances as things, and you can greet them with, I'm not that. Yeah. You don't say it after a while. It's not like I'm not that all day. You're sitting there mumbling at Starbucks, not that, no. You don't do it. You do it to a point, and then there's no need to do it. And then if there's a need to do it, you'll do it again. But there'll be very long lapses where you're not doing shit. Yeah, you're just trucking around, living the day. You're not picking up many mental stones or memories to remind yourself how bad the day was or how good the day was. You're just basically living a day on an Etch-a-Sketch, and then you go to bed, the Etch-a-Sketch moves, all the lines get taken away, and then the next day, life shakes it up again. Yeah, and you don't see, you don't see the mental partitioning of everything with time and space, you know? It happens, you see that, you see the interpretation, but you see through the lines, you see through the partitions. They're not defining things as they once did. It's much more fluid. It's almost as if instead of oil colors, they're painting with watercolors. They get washed out quite easily. So, and I think Zen captures it when they say, you know, blue will be blue and red will be red. You'll see blue as blue and red as red. Things will become clear. They won't become clear. There'll be clarity, yeah, about them. So, there you go. You can start from there, eh? If there's any questions or shares or whatever.
Bruce put his hand up.
Wow, that was fast.
And John's still here, so he must be able to hear. So
Okay,
Where is?
I'm here. I'm here. Hi,
All
hi,
right,
everyone. Yeah, Paul,
nice to see you.
you also. Yeah, I'd say about the past year or so, there's been like this habituating of being present, let's say. You know, like, so in written and then recently in conversation or satsang, anything that's perceived is already in the past. And so I'm living that at what you refer to as a life of interpretation. So I can never actually perceive something as it's happening. So, but there's the seeing of that in a way, and it's a weird kind of living because there's nothing to hold on to. It's like, I guess, like water in a stream. You know, you can or watching a movie. You know, it goes on. So there's no point. Any thought that appears is already in the past. And I don't know, I guess as it habituates, there's nothing more to say. There's that quietness, like anything that I have to say is just an interpretation of something that is in the past. And you refer to that too. Anyway, whew, thanks. You know, obviously that's it. You I can't, there's nothing to say. I was going to say, you see where I'm at. But again, you say we are, here we are, here I am. And that's about all I can. And that too is a looking or a seeing. It's not what seems to be happening at the moment. But again, that even everything that I've just said doesn't make sense anymore. Anyway, I don't know if you have anything to bounce back about that.
Yes, it's the tail of the dog wants to describe the nose of the dog. Yes. It goes around and around in circles. Yeah.
But the satsang keeps me in that, you know, the verbing, the seeing, the hearing. Yeah, there's nothing to be heard or seen.
Yeah, the thing is, Bruce, you know, there's a recognition of stuff. And part of the stuff that's recognized is not going to get the recognition. It's just going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
right.
right.
So when someone says that every perception has already happened and it's an interpretation, that which is the interpretation doesn't get it. It keeps going, you know. So if you're thinking
that's the selfing,
the act of interpreting is going to stop because you've explained that it's both, it doesn't matter. Falling will continue. There's not a remnant. You can't, don't withhold 2 drops. It's not going to quench its thirst. Just fucking recognize that's it's
like
just going to keep doing what it does. It's going to walk in a store and think it has choice. It doesn't matter if you have the deepest pontification concerning it. It doesn't matter. It's just going to do what it does. It's not you. So your recognition of shit isn't its recognition of shit. It isn't. Its recognition of shit is programmed. It's prescribed. It's formatted. It doesn't actually break out of anything. It really doesn't. Yeah.
So that's the negation. It seems to be the negation of this.
That's where there's a not taking it so seriously.
I mean, not that you know, I occasionally I feel caught in the flow of things or caught up in it, but
it does. Yes, it does.
There's at least the seeing of it sometimes. All right. That's enough from me. Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
there's a
everyone.
seeing all the time, Bruce. That's the thing. There's almost like an ember of hope that it's going to get it. It's just, it's
That's
just,
the being,
it-
So I feel there's a sense
the
of being.
the being doesn't need to get it. It is it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
It's
nothing to get. Yeah. There's nothing to get or no
that's
one
the
to get.
real. Yeah, it's
Yeah, there's nothing to say. All right, I'm gonna turn my mic off. You just so wish your dog could jump higher and get the treat. It just can't. It doesn't mean you stop petting the dog and you love the dog. It just doesn't it's an imaginary reflection. It's not solid. So in a way, it's beautiful in a sense because the the recognition is put in the vault of silence. Yeah. It just, that's where it accrues. That's where the value accrues. Yeah. Yeah. So very happy to see you, Bruce, and everybody today.
Thanks, Bruce. You ready for John K?
I'm ready for John K. John K. Our old friend John K.
No, the newer John K.
Oh, the newer John K. Okay. Yes.
No, boy, that's funny. The question really is dealing about time. You said yesterday, dreaming and time are hand in hand.
Well, yes, there.
Could you
Yeah.
expand on that, please?
Well, supposedly you need time to see shit. Yeah. Supposedly. And for something not to be so, to seem to be so, it would need time. That's not an easy stunt to pull off. It would take time. Yeah. And the point is, 1 second of time can be like 1,000 years when it concerning what we are and what we're not. Yeah. It doesn't need much time. It just wants you to believe your time is not now. It may be coming really, really soon, but there's still like a withholding. Not now. Yes. But that's, and so in the dreaming where appearances appear to be real, that would take time. Yeah. You would have to see them and maybe see them over and over again to have it built in and create a groove there. Yeah. So that takes time. Any building of of imaginary things take time. Yes. Yeah. You watch it, just it's a subjective event. Yes. So if I was doing a thing, working, some days would seem like forever. When I was surfing, the time was going beautifully. I didn't have enough time. So obviously it's not something stagnant, and it seems to have a lot to do with us. Yeah. We try to make us have a lot to do with it, but they see it as the other way. I think it has a lot to do with us. And It's one of the foundations of dreaming. You would need it. Yeah. For an appearance to be so, when in fact it's not so, that would take time. Yes. So, yeah. So I feel a lot of it. To me, it feels like a dry current. You don't recognize it. But you ever been in the water and something's pulling at your feet or your calves? There's some current moving through the water that has a mind of its own, so to speak. It's going. And so time is sort of a feeling like a dry current pushing. And there's the mental time, I would say, is in every aspect of seeking. There's an aspect of time in it, obviously. To have things that are opposite from us or far from us and wanting us to arrive there, that would take time. Yes. We would have to traverse time to get there, seemingly. And then it gets applied to everything. And we walk around thinking it's going to take us time to arrive at where we already are. And this is the fundamental immediacy of the message and of satsang for me. When you get whacked, it takes no time whatsoever. It actually intervenes on the feeling of time and like a vertical download and just like a lightning bolt. It always has that quality of not taking any time. It doesn't take any time to arrive at where you already are. None whatsoever. And this is what's weird. And this is what can support an ignorance in a way. When we take ourselves, or there's a taking of this as being ourselves, and then a wanting for that to change, it's going to take time and effort. And then the sense of, whoa, scared the cat. The sense of that little sense of time, that a little bit is enough in a way to blind us to what is. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my feeling about it tonight.
Is that what you meant when you said that the current of time alters perception?
Well, it alters everything. There wouldn't be the perception as it goes now. It seems to be an event in time, when actually what's perceiving is not of time at all. But perceptions seem to be an event in time. Yes. But that which is perceiving is not of time. So, yeah, I think it's not obviously outside of us. It's part and parcel of the dreaming, and we are the dreaming. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
I think it's more of a sense feltness. I mean, it's again like being introduced to gravity and then recognizing by its absence. Well, the same thing, a lot of moments in life, time is absent. I would say because there's only the moment, but time is absence, and it's actually an addition to what's going on. And that addition is sort of like a lens or a filter that changes how we see and appearances and shit. Yeah. Yeah. To me, it's like an illusory effect. So nothing to do about it. You just see it. That's all. Nothing calls me to arms. I realize that's basically the intent of the siren singing to us as the Ulysses, is for us just to turn around. Once there's a turning around, we sort of think there's the in and out starts occurring, yes? Now we want to get out or we want to get in. And this is not about doing anything about anything. It's just seeing and let it take its course. Yeah. And maybe it will lead you to do something about something or do something about something completely different than it. And it will all have a point. But the first posture and the one that you easily can stay in is disarmed. Yeah. Yeah.
But I still
Just-
don't understand how observation can change the observed.
Well, of course, because the observer in this observation here is giving everything all the meaning it has. So it's giving the meaning to the observed. The observed is inherently empty. It doesn't have a meaning. It's an appearance, yes? It's like a shadow on the wall. It's the observer that gives meaning to the observed. And one of the meanings it gives to the observed is that the observed has meaning in and of itself, and it's going to impose it on me. It's explained beautifully in a part of the Course in Miracles where it says, you and I are the dreaming of the dream. We forgot this, we forget this. And to me, that's the act of being identified as the dreamt. And when the condition is that we forgot that we're the dreaming, we now give everything we're dreaming the power to affect us. Yes? So everything is inherently empty, and the act of dreaming is giving it meaning, and some of the meaning it gives it is that thing that's inherently empty has its own meaning, and it's going to impose itself on me. So now I become a victim of my own dreaming. Yes? And the head has a field day with that, having a grievance and feeling like it's put upon. And now it has in the Course of Miracles terminology, there's this guilt it's trying to get around. And one of the ways it gets around it is by being better than a lot of other people. So it can wear the nice face because it sees all these perpetrators that are so much worse than it. So it gets a little fake relief from the guilt that comes from its belief that it's separated from God, which it hasn't done or it hasn't happened. So basically, look at the principle. You and I, and in this case, we're going to call that in its appearance, the observer, yes, is giving everything all the meaning it has. Everything would be the observed, yeah? So you and I are giving everything all the meaning it has. Therefore, the things we're giving meaning to have no meaning in and of themselves. They're empty. They're appearances. Yes? We give it the meaning, and then the meaning comes back at us, and we're blind to the fact of our role in it, that we were the dreaming of it. Yeah? And now we feel like we're the victim. And now things that we could outshine now outshine us based on this identification as being the observer. Yes? There is no observed without an observer. Yeah? There's no observed. This is the dreaming. Yeah. I hope that helps. Yes?
Yeah,
Or does?
a little. I'm still confused by Nietzsche's remarks about the abyss.
Well, then you call up Nietzsche. Let's, yeah.
I need
The
one.
only thing I like about The Abyss was the movie, The Abyss. And I've watched that a lot of times, and it never looked back at me. I can't say much about Nietzsche. I don't think I read much of him. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. You ready to go on?
I am? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenneth. Hi, Kenneth.
Hi, Paul. I think you've answered partially my question. Last week, last Wednesday, you mentioned something like the wall. There's walling. You were talking about the walls, right? But there are no walls. So in a way,
That's
there are,
right.
things are functioning, but there are no things,
Yes,
right? So
yes,
the thing, when we call it a thing or an object, it's because the mind, the observer, impute that name on the functioning, right? Is that
yes,
correct? So it's more
yes.
like I'm hearing, thinking, and I'm thinking there's a thinker and a thought. So there's things are functioning, but there are no things.
Yes,
Okay, that's what I
exactly.
wanted.
Yeah.
Like it's just an extension of what we think about ourselves. So this is on the object side, right? Observing the object that way. Is that right?
Yes, well, we think about ourselves as an object.
Yes. After
The
the
mind thinks
thinking.
about
Yes.
itself as an object, yes. We
So
don't.
okay. And then on the object side, say if there's a functioning of a car first, then it becomes a car. Then we impute a car on it. Is that right?
Well, we put the name of it on it, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what I wanted to clear.
Yeah, like my dog Lola doesn't know it's a dog.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's
Yeah.
doggy. Yeah,
Oh,
yes. This is one of the things, if you look at basic Hinduism, they talk about name and form, yes?
mm-hmm.
So there's a giving of name and form. The form doesn't come up with its own name. There's a giving of name and form. And then now we think we know what that is. But see, the knowing of it that way takes out the verbing of it. So you
Yeah.
know the Colorado River, but you don't get the sense of the rivering. Yeah. So
Yeah,
in a
okay.
weird way, the laying name onto form and form onto name is like a deadening event. It becomes more interpretive. And basically, you don't mean anything because you think you know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the knowing takes the aliveness out of the meaning of things because you think you already know it.
Yeah, okay. That's great.
Sort of like
Thank
the dog. It's sort of like the dog here, Kenneth. So
Yeah.
if I go out 3 days or 5 minutes, I'm greeted the same way when I come back. She's like completely flipped, like
Yeah.
5 minutes or 3 days. It says she has no idea. The time is definitely different. I know maybe she has a sense of time, but it's not like, and so I play with her the same thing every day. It's new every fucking time. Every time I throw the ball, it's like the first greatest time for her. On and on. It's been years I've been doing it. Everything, when I wake up in the morning, I hear a ball drop at my bedroom door, and it's the dog giving me the hint, it's time to go out. We go out, I throw the fucking ball, and it just goes off. Yeah. You could do it the rest of your life. It would be new every time, or it seems like it's new every time, just like it's new every time I leave. It's sort of like I've been gone for 30 years, even if it's 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
What happened with the mental state? The mental state, I feel, its drive, its idea of security is to know everything. And when you know everything, the way it knows, it deadens everything. And not only that thing gets deadened, you, in a way, as a thing, get deadened. Yes?
Yeah.
So now, every sunset, I've seen it before. Yes, it gets to a point where it falls into a lapse of the same old, and the same old, same old. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I feel truly one of the great aspects of the message is the aliveness that keeps a pulse, because you're not going into a coma until the head gets healed. The head can be that way and you're not that way. Yes. Yeah. So yes, that's how I see it.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome, Ken. Definitely. Thank you. It's nice for questions because I go places I wouldn't,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't I don't spend the day looking into the beyond, but the questions can bring me there. So it's great. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got
So
you
thank
got
you.
more hands as soon as you said that.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go.
And we've got ham and cheese, Frank.
Ham and cheese.
I don't know if you don't want to answer this. I was reading one of your books. You said you walked into a meeting and you realized your ass was your face. And it was like the same thing that you're talking about, we don't see it. When before I got there, I couldn't see it because I was like a blind person in a dark room who's never seen light before. Right. And then like, if I didn't know it was there, you know what I mean? I would have to not be blind to see light. I don't know.
Yes. The thing is, the beauty, let's say you've been in the dark, and when you come out of the dark, that dark will lose all effects sooner or later because it wasn't true. There was always light. Yeah. That same thing doesn't happen with light.
Like, I didn't know what was going to happen because maybe I was full of fear of not knowing what would happen if I got clean or something. You know what I mean? I didn't know what life would be after that.
Yeah.
No idea, because I was in that dark room.
Yes. But see, the beauty when you come out of the dark room, it lends itself to the temporary, the dreamlike quality that it was. Light that doesn't happen with light. Light is fact. Light is real. Light is true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. When the light becomes available, it's like it's always been that way. When the darkness disappears, it was never that way. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The meaning that was given to the darkness was misplaced. Yeah. The darkness was just like anything else. It seemed real. It appeared real, but it isn't. Yeah. But the light is a different story. When the light or something, when you seemingly finally arrive, it tells you it's always been this way. Always. There was no darkness. There was nothing. All of these were imaginings that needed time and space to occur. Yeah. And now there's a dreaming oneself, or there's not a oneself, there's a dreaming out of the dream. There's a dreaming out of the dream. And now there's less reality in the darkness than ever. And there's more light even when there's darkness. Yes. Yes. So this is the great news, is what I thought was true or had happened only rose to a seemingly so condition. It was appearing to be true to me. Yeah. I didn't have to change it. All that needed to be changed was the emphasis of me. Yeah. When me got underemphasized, then that thing itself that was never that way I saw it became clearer. Yeah.
Mhm.
And part of the clarity it brought to me was it was never that way I saw it. It was appearing that way, but it was never that way. These things can, these events in our lives can reverberate. Yes, they've got a potency that they can reverberate, and they can play you like a bell inside. Yeah. And this is like the call to knowledge before knowledge. You'll just know in your gut. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff, those antennas always up trying to figure shit out will just be folded in. Yeah.
Advertising.
You'll wait to see what happens. You'll be here. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm happy you're here, and I can tell everyone has skipped the light fantastic, so to speak. Yeah. The point is attempting to know, not trying to think yourself into it, but know, even when the emperor arrives with a whole regalia and ensemble of clothing, that it has no clothes. Yeah. This is what will allow you to travel later here. The peak experience, or the realization that the emperor has no clothes, won't gain as much traction. It needs to be repeated here, so that the emperor has no clothes when it's wearing clothes. Yes, completely. Yeah. Yeah, because it's going to wear clothes again. That when that lion moves from the pond after seeing its reflection as the same as the old lion, it's easily going to forget by thinking itself to be a sheep, and then turning that realization into an experience the sheep had. I've seen it in my own life, and I've spoken at a lot of spiritual groups over the years, and I've seen it right in front of me. Yes. Yeah. So this is knowledge of self, and it's really knowledge of selfing. And the time plays such a huge role in selfing, because selfing never makes a self. It just implies there already is one. Yeah. There's no making of a self, but there is an implying there already is one. That's time. That is time right there. Yes.
Right.
And it knows its incapability. That's why it's constantly obsessing over this idea to reinforce the identity as it. That the idea of self can't stand, it has no legs. So the mental activity obsesses over it incessantly a lot. Yeah. Sometimes through proxy, like it's obsessing over something else, but it's in regards to it, or just it. Yeah. Sitting up all night.
A lot of it in school. When I'm in school and I'm taking a class,
yeah.
I get it. You know what I mean? It's clear. I'm totally clear, and I'm not, and I don't have all that irritable stuff going on that's taking me away from where I'm at, so I can stay focused and do it. And that, it's such a gift, because like this semester's going really well. And I've had other semesters where I wasn't practicing this as much, and I wasn't getting the results like I am now.
Yeah. And, I'll give you an example. I had a real trouble holding a job when I was out there drinking and using, because when I was on the job, time was just going so slow. I couldn't take it, and I'd walk off of jobs, seriously. So I have watched that orchestra. I have followed its music, man, in my life. I've seen it. I mean, I was at jobs where it was like a second was a century. It was just going so fucking slow, and I couldn't take it. And I just walk off the job site. I just say, fuck it. Yeah. So I've seen what it can do with us engaged with it. Yeah, because we are the source of time. We're not the effect of it. We are the source of time. We are the dreaming. And
Mhm.
so I saw it, man. I've seen it go fast and go slow and go, yeah. And I don't, and then people, maybe there's time far out, but I think what most people are concerned with is subjective time. That's what causes a lot of fucking anxiety, suffering. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
This is really good stuff, man. I had a sponsee. He was supposed to come here tonight, but he didn't show up. So
Well, that always happens too.
I figured that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'd have a huge crowd if everyone who said they were going to come came. I've noticed that for years and years and years. Yeah.
Well,
So,
it is a huge benefit for me. So
oh, great.
I
That's
really
great.
appreciate it. Yeah. Because for me, like you said, it's that reaffirmation, and I'm right here.
Yeah. Affirmation is good for repetition because of we're using time in a different way, more like an antidote than the poison. Yeah. But that's what you do here. You use what's happening and for a different purpose. Yeah. Yeah. So repetition's helpful. I'm happy to come here. I get jacked up because
Yeah.
usually it becomes quite ordinary. And then when I'm here, I get the taste of how fucking cool it is. And
It's powerful. It's actually
yeah,
powerful.
oh, sure, that's for sure. Yeah, that I know. I guess it's blown my pistons many times. So yeah, that I know well. Yeah.
Thank you again, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else, Mike? Mike?
Oops, sorry, I was muted. John put his hand down, so unless anybody else puts a
How's
hand,
the video? Is it good? Is it better? And there's volume and stuff, sound?
yeah, I think the sound is so good, it makes it sounds like you're talking slow. Maybe the Wi-Fi is a little warbly tonight. I don't know.
Maybe I found an old what were they called? Quaalude from the 1980s. I may have worked. I found it in my old disco pants.
Mia
I
put her
only
hand-
did half, so I don't think it means I went out, does it? No. No. I didn't do anything like that.
No, but it's very clear though.
Oh, great.
Mia
I'm
put-
happy.
or somebody. Mia's in a square with two other people in the dark.
Oh, I don't like the menage a trois square.
Hello.
Hello.
We just want to say hi
Yeah,
and
Boom.
boom.
great talk.
Oh, wait a minute. We're trying to get some light. This
Yeah, I
is
can't
it.
see them.
Sorry. Just Hiram is here with
Amelin,
Amelin
hello.
Hey there.
and
Hello, I can't see you, but yes, nice to know you.
oh no, there's not enough light in here. Sorry.
No, we're in the dark about everything. That's why.
That's good. Let's keep it that way.
we're
Okay.
Let's wait for that moment for it all to be revealed. Yes.
That's what we're, drinking to.
Oh, all right. Well, is anyone else, Mike?
No. I don't
All right.
see-
So I think well, let's make it there will not be a regular 1 o'clock Saturday Zoom. Yeah, because we're gonna be in Mexico. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll record this stuff and then figure out how to upload it to YouTube. Or I don't know what we can do. Maybe we can do it there. You know,
Yeah,
I think we could do it like we used to with the phone. And
yeah, I would think somebody there would have equipment, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah, we're
Wi-Fi.
gonna do that. So, but Saturday, there's no live meeting at the church in Marin City. And I don't believe there'll be a 1 o'clock live Zoom.
Live in Mexico and maybe at another time.
Yeah, yeah, how about that? Or maybe come in at 1 and we'll see if we can do it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put a note up anyway.
Yeah, thanks. All right, well, let's say goodbye to everyone. There's Mia and her 2 cohorts. Nice to see them. They put on the lights now. Yeah. We got John Luna. Always a pleasure, John. Did you get to your volume? I hope they can hear it.
Said in chat, he fixed it, yeah.
Oh, great. Mike, thank you as always. Thanks for all the service and yeah.
Pleasure.
David from Oz, nice to see you, Dave. Anu, as always. Wonderful. I've met some wonderful people in this seat assignment. It's very, yeah. Bruce, there he is. Thank you for sharing tonight. Kerry, always a pleasure. Taking it horizontally, that's a good way. Yep. Bill Churchman in his giant chair. Frank Tucson. Frank, I have to see an older picture of you. I'm just taking it that we knew each other back in the days. And I know I don't owe you any money, which is very good. Yeah.
You're muted, Frank.
It's okay. William Stan, nice to see you, William. Thanks for hanging in with us. Yep. There's Jack in Cape Cod. Always a pleasure, Jack. Thanks again. Yes, sticking with us too. We've got Marty. Marty, I think it's you that sent me something. I'll talk with you or chat with you through that thing soon. All right. Linda. Yes. Nice to see you, Linda. How are you? Good. Good. Yeah.
Really good, thank you.
Oh, good. Steve Cole in San Diego. There he is. Nice to see. I had the pleasure to meet Steve in Palm Springs. John S. down in Florida. Craig May. We didn't visit Craig's closet today, but it'll be coming up soon. We got Kathleen. Someone said you're not confused anymore, just happy. That's pretty good. Yeah. We got Nicholas, either in Cleveland or Nicholas Cleveland. So I'll go with Nicholas in Cleveland, maybe. No, it's Nicholas Cleveland. All right. Nice to see you, Nicholas. John K, as always. Yes. Esteban, my future bodyguard, is working out. Yeah. He's got that Kiss of Death move by Bruce Lee. Yep. Kenneth, always a pleasure, bro. Yes. James Lebowski, he came out at night. That's unusual. I usually don't see him in the PM. I can't see him now. It's dark. We got Miranda. Miranda, great, fantastic. And you don't know how much it means. A whole lot to watch you, Miranda, now. Yes, just it's like the biggest break you can ever give yourself. Really, such a gift. Really, Tej, as always. My man who's done everything so that I don't have to do anything. Very good. He's been with everybody, all the masters. Very good, says. Thank you. Let me see. We got page 2, I think. Oh, we got my little reggae visionary. There he is. We got Elaine. Oh, no, we got Susan. Now he's calling himself Vibes. I like that. Vibes is good. Alan, thank you so much. Alan sent me some money right before the talk. David Bitterman doing something there. He's not in the hospital and he's not in jail. Pretty good. It's a good day. Susanna Warner, my close friend from the older days. Yes. Ripping and roaring in the sunset. She survived. We got Miss Amelia, the love of my life. She's not far from me. Elaine, nice to not see you, Elaine. Lori, Shannon. Shannon's nice to see her. We got Lynn. Always a pleasure to see Lynn. I'm very happy that you keep showing up, Lynn. Beautiful addition. We got Grateful Dave. And I think that's about it. If I missed anybody, I didn't miss anybody really. So we'll see each other soon. Hopefully tomorrow there's the recovery meeting and then everything's going to be the same. We're just away Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, where there's only one talk in those days we usually do. So I think we'll record it. They'll be on YouTube. We'll be having a whole lot of talking. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Good trip. Thank you.